नमस्ते गुरुजी, जय गुरुजी महाराज, जय गुरुजी साथ संगत जी। शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का मल्टीलिंगुअल जूम प्लेटफॉर्म समस्त गुरु परिवार का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता है। जैसा कि आपको मालूम है, आज आप सब द फ्लावर ऑफ ग्रेटिट्यूड बुक रीडिंग, नरेशन एंड इंटरेक्शन ये सब सुनने के लिए उपस्थित हुए हैं। मैं ज्यादा न बोलते हुए प्रेरणा महाजन आंटी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं और इसी के साथ मैं आरती साइकिल आंटी को रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, प्लीज सेशन को मैनेज करें। जय गुरु जी।
के चरणों में कोटि कोटि प्रणाम। नमस्ते साथ संगत जी, नमस्ते सुरेश अंकल एंड एंटायर ग्रुप of Shukrana Guruji Maharaj the Multilingual. Day by day, we are getting soaked into infinite blessings of Maharaj. I, with all my heart and gratitude and warmth, invite Prerna Aunty to start with reading of the Divine Book and give us yet another soulful, blissful, and most divine session on the book. Welcome you, Prerna Aunty, and may Guruji envelop your life and your seva with his benevolence and his infinite grace. Welcome to the platform. Over to you, Prerna Aunty. Thank you. Thank you, Suresh Uncle.
Jai Guruji. Aunty, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Aunty, you are very clearly audible. Thank you.
Thank you. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. Thank you so much, Shukrana Guruji Maharaj, the multilingual platform, Suresh Vasan Uncle, Kamlesh Mehta Aunty, all the coordinators, co-hosts and Sangat who are attending today's session live, and to all the Sangats who will be listening afterwards. My heartfelt gratitude to you all. Thank you. Today, I will be reading the chapter from the book Flowers of Gratitude, written by Guruji's blessed Sangat, Kamlesh Mehta Aunty. Title of the chapter is Karmic Retribution, and the pages which I will be reading are page number 35 to 37. So as the name suggests, the title of the chapter is Karmic Retribution. The name itself suggests it means the act of taking revenge or the act of punishing someone for their actions. Now, in this chapter, Aunty has beautifully explained that how karmas punish us due to our negative actions. Aunty begins the chapter with the lines, I quote, I bow at his feet and constantly pray to him. The Guru, the true Guru, has shown me the way. I unquote. What she means is that she bends down her head and her body forward, show her respect and express her thanks. She bows at the lotus feet of Guruji and prays continuously to him, to Guruji, who is the true Guru, as he is the one who has shown her the right path towards her destination. Next, Aunty writes, this incident is about a big lesson that I learned from our divine Guruji Maharaj and want to share with my readers. Now, in these lines, Aunty is saying that there is this one incident or event which made her learn a very big lesson of her life. It was through Guruji's grace, she was able to learn a very important lesson which she wants to share with her readers, with all of us. In the next line, she writes, I will tell you one such incident where I was convinced that Guruji's blessings can sail a person from past, present, and future karmas. According to Aunty, if you have Guruji's blessings, then even if your karmas have been bad in the past, present, or the future, still you will sail through them without any difficulty. In the next line, she writes, the incident proved to me that it is only Guruji who can free you from the sins of your karmas, whether they are this birth, past birth, or future births, future birth karmas of even 100 years. So we must take his blessings to seek redemption and atonement. So, what redemption means over here is the action of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil. And atonement is something we do to show that we are sorry for something bad we did. So according to Aunty, this very particular incident, which she is going to explain in the next few lines, this incident proved to her that it is only Guruji's. It is only when we hold hand of Guruji that we will be free from the sins which we have done, and we have built up our karmas, sins of our karmas, whether they are in this birth. The sins could be of this birth. At present, we are doing something wrong, or maybe it could be the past births, something which we have already done in the past and which we are totally unaware of, or the sins of our future births. Again, the future births, we don't know what sins we are going to commit in the future. So according to her, it is only Guruji who can free us from the sins of our karmas, whether they are of this birth, past birth, or future births. Karmas of even 100 years. We don't know what we did in the past births, but Guruji knows what we have done in all our past births. Even he can even go till the past 100 years. So we must take his blessings to seek redemption and atonement. Now, Aunty further writes, one day an auntie had her langar and one small boy was sitting opposite to her. Now, this boy was eating less and spilling more. Aunty watched the small child that he was not eating properly. So she felt pity for the small child. After finishing her langar and keeping her plate back, she decided to help the child in feeding him properly. She kept trying her best to feed him, but he kept on doing the same thing, eating less and spilling more. So in the end, she stopped trying and went to keep his plate back. Now, Sangati, what happened? This incident which Kamlesh Aunty has mentioned. According to her, one day there was an auntie and she was having her langar, and one small boy, he was sitting just opposite to her. We all know in Guruji's Bade Mandir, when we eat langar prasad, we sit with four people sit together and have the langar. So with this auntie, on the opposite side, there was a small boy, and this boy was eating less and spilling more. So he was not able to eat properly. Rather than eating, more of the food was being spilled by him. Auntie watched the small child that he was not eating properly. So she felt pity. She was feeling really bad about this small child, that the child is not able to eat his langar properly. After finishing her langar, now what Auntie did, as soon as she finished her langar and she kept her plate back, now she decided to help the child in feeding him properly. So she decided that she is going to help this child so that he is able to eat his langar properly. She kept trying her best to feed him. She tried a lot that the child is able to feed, he's able to eat the langar properly. But he kept on doing the same thing. And again, the same thing was repeated by the child. He was again spilling more and eating less. So in the end, what happened? She stopped trying. Auntie was really tired and she stopped trying and went to keep his plate back. Now over here in the next line, Kamlesh Aunty mentions, the Sevadars watched her closely, and as she stood up to keep his plate back, one of the Sevadar stopped her and said, Auntie, this is your child, so you will have to consume the remaining langar. We don't encourage wastage at langar. Now she was quite disappointed in hearing this and tried to convince the Sevadar that it was not her child and she was just helping him finish the langar. However, despite her earnest efforts, the boy didn't finish his food and kept spilling the food. Now, over here, when the auntie was trying to feed the child was again not eating properly. He was spilling more and he was eating less. So at last, auntie was very tired and she was just going to keep his plate back. But the sevadars, they were watching her closely. And as soon as she stood up to keep his plate back, to keep the plate of this child back, one of the sevadars, he stopped her and said to her, Auntie, this is your child. So he pointed it out to her that he is your child and she will have to consume the leftover langar. Whatever he has left in the plate, Auntie will have to finish that up. She will have to consume it. Now, Auntie, and they also told her that we don't encourage wastage at langar. We all know whenever langar is served to us, we have to finish each and every bite. We are not allowed to leave. We should not leave anything in the plate of the langar which is offered to us. It is a disrespect towards the food. So they told her that we don't encourage wastage at langar. She was quite disappointed. Now she was very disappointed. She felt really bad on hearing this, that she will have to finish up the leftover langar from the plate. And she tried to convince the sevadar. She tried to tell him, she tried to convince him that it was not her child. The child was not hers, and she was just helping him finish the langar. However, despite all her efforts, despite her best efforts, the boy didn't finish his food and he kept spilling the food. So this was what she told the sevadars. Now, next auntie writes, clearly the sevadars were not convinced. So they forced her to eat the remaining food on the plate. Auntie was in a crying situation, but she somehow ate the remaining jhuta food of that boy. Now, since Auntie was really trying hard to make them understand that the child did not belong to her, the child was not hers, but the sevadars were clearly, they were not convinced by her, by whatever she was trying to tell them. They were really not convinced. They didn't believe what she was telling them. So they forced her to eat the remaining food on the plate. Auntie was in a crying situation. She was really feeling very bad about whatever was happening. She had to, but somehow she ate the remaining jhuta food of that boy. Somehow she made up her mind and she started eating and she finished the food which was left over by the child. Now, after she finished the boy's langar, she obviously marched to Guruji Maharaj and cried her heart out to what happened just before. So now, as soon as she finished the boy's langar, she just marched towards Guruji Maharaj and she cried and cried. She cried her heart out to whatever had happened just before. Guruji listened to all her story. Guruji listened to her story and nodded his head and said, I cleared your next birth karmas. Otherwise, you would have been born as a pig in your next birth. Now, Sangatji, what Guruji told that auntie, first of all, he listened to whatever she was telling him. He listened very calmly. He listened to whatever she was narrating. The whole story he listened. Even though we all know Guruji knew everything, then also he calmly, patiently, he listened to the whole story and he nodded his head. And what beautiful words he told her. I cleared your next birth karmas. He told her that he had cleared auntie's next birth karmas. Otherwise, she would have been born as a pig in her next birth. Auntie was clearly very surprised to hear this. Guruji further explained what happened, and it was amazing to hear. He said that it was not the 4 sevadars who forced you to eat the langar, but there were 5 of them, and I was the 5th one, the child. So the child was me who was helping you get clear of your karmas. Now, very beautifully, Guruji explains what he wanted to explain to Aunty. He told her that it was not the 4 sevadars. Aunty had seen 4 sevadars who were forcing her to finish all the food, leftover food, which the child had left. All his jhuta food, they were forcing Aunty to finish that up. Now, Guruji told her that it was not only the 4 sevadars who forced you to eat the langar, but there were 5 of them, and he was the 5th one, the child who was spilling the food, who was not finishing, who was eating less and dropping more of the food, who left all the food in the langar, the thali. So the child was me who was helping you get clear of your karmas. Guruji further said, मैं तेरा अगला जन्म कट देता, otherwise you would have been born as a pig. I only made you eat my jhuta food. Beautiful, beautiful lines. मैं तेरा अगला जन्म कट देता. कौन करेगा? कौन करेगा हमारे लिए? Only Guruji Maharaj. So he told her that मैं तेरा अगला जन्म कट देता. Otherwise, you would have been born as a pig. I only made you eat my jhuta food. This was the power of Guruji, who could alter a person's present, past, and future karmas. So, have faith in Guruji's divine ways and keep doing your karmas. Guruji is with us and he will do wonders in your life. So this is the message which Aunty is giving to us. This was the power of Guruji, who could alter a person's present, past, and future karmas. Now, we never know what we have already done in the past is also not known to us. What we are going to do in the future, what bad karmas we are creating right now, for which we will have to repay in the future. But Guruji knows everything. So this was his power. He could alter a person's present, past, and future karmas. So we all must have faith in Guruji's divine ways and keep doing our karmas. Guruji is with us and he will do wonders in our life. The chapter ends with a beautiful line by Leonardo da Vinci. I quote, "Realize that everything connects to everything else." I unquote. This brings us to the end of this chapter, but Sangatji, I would like to share my learnings from this chapter. Whatever limited knowledge I have, I would just request Guruji to please guide me in explaining whatever I have understood from this beautiful chapter about karma. Sangatji, my learnings from this chapter are, karma is based on the principle that what we sow, we reap. It can also be explained in terms of cause and effect. The cause refers to our actions and effect refers to the consequences of those actions. Therefore, karma is a debt we owe or a blessing we shall receive. There are 2 types of karmas, negative and positive. Negative or bad karmas, they refer to the consequences we have to face due to negative actions which we do. Positive or good karma, on the other hand, refers to the spiritual blessings that will come our way due to positive actions or selfless good deeds. Karma is a result not only of action, but of thought and words as well. All the 3 of them go hand in hand. It is a result not only of action, thought, and words. So all these three go hand in hand. Now, karma is not a punishment. It is learning. It is a law that is not intended to blindly punish, but to teach you where you went wrong and to make you understand your mistake from a soul level. If we have hurt someone mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, it will come back to us, and so will the blessings for small acts of kindness done with a pure motive. Spiritual blessings and gifts are never of a materialistic nature, Sangatji. They come to us in the form of a happy family, loyal friends, talents, comforts, pets, finding a true guru or a master, strength from God to handle our problems, and skills that will enable us to better fulfill our mission and help others as well. Now, we all know debts have to be paid. We should not postpone debts to our next life by running away from our tests. We should never, never, ever run away from the tests which we are given throughout this life. Avoiding our responsibilities or following the wrong path. We need medicine to cure our sickness. We all know whenever we are sick, we need medicine. But the medicine may sometimes be bitter. After taking the medicine, however, we feel better. So it is, even though the medicine is bitter, but once we take the medicine, we start feeling better. Similarly, the karmic debts may give us pain, but after dealing with them, we'll feel lighter and stronger and have a higher understanding. Sangatji, always remember that we are able to handle whatever comes our way. Our test, training, and karma are given to us on the basis of what we can handle. Nothing beyond our capacity will come to us in our life. If you feel you cannot handle something, think again. Perhaps you need to analyze yourself to see where you are going wrong. Sangatji, few examples of spiritual tests which we may be giving in our life journey are fear. Now, our fears will be tested because we need to learn courage. The next is the power. We might be placed in a position of power to see if we can use it for the greater good. Money, sometimes we are given a great deal of money to see if that changes us as a person, or we are not given much money to see if we can still be content. It can come in the form of gifts. We are given a gift, a talent, to see how we use it for light or for darkness. And lastly, we have forgiveness. Someone close to us may cause us pain. Instead of being negative and resenting that person, can we forgive him or her by doing what is right, by changing our inner state and thinking positively? I conclude by saying that it is very important to go through our troubles bravely and with a smile, because our karma has to be paid off and we must not resent it. So smile through your problems, be positive, and handle your pain with grace. Maintain dignity and have complete faith in the supreme power and his justice. With regular prayers, we receive more strength to make it through problems, and we can pay off our karmas easily and quickly. At last, I would like to thank Suresh Uncle for giving me this wonderful opportunity to read this amazing chapter about karmic retribution. And of course, many thanks to Kamlesh Aunty for writing this divine book, Flowers of Gratitude. Thanks once again, Suresh Uncle, for providing us the divine Shukrana Guruji Maharaj, the multilingual platform, which has given us an opportunity to see Guruji's blessings in the form of satsangs shared by his lifetime Sangats and connecting with Sangats globally. Thanks to all the co-hosts, coordinators, and Sangats. Anantam Shukrana Guruji Maharaj. Thank you so much. Over to you, Aunty.
या जय गुरु जी, हाँ जय गुरु जी, शुक्राना बेअंत, शुक्राना गुरु जी महाराज for these moments of mercy, for these moments of enlightenment. Prerna aunty, such beautiful reading. जिस भाव से आपने रीड किया, वो आपका भाव आपके दिल से हम सबके दिल को, आई एम श्योर हम सबके दिल को छुआ. एंड आई मस्ट मेंशन हियर आंटी, आपकी आर्टिकुलेशन, आपकी मॉड्यूलेशन, पहले मैं ये दो चीजों को बहुत ज्यादा अप्रिशिएट करूंगी. ये महाराज की आप पे कृपा है, क्योंकि वाणी भी तो, जो हमारी वाणी है वो भी हमें महाराज की दी हुई है, वो भी उनकी कृपा होती है. और जिस तरह से सिंगर होते हैं, पोएट होते हैं, पेंटर होते हैं, अच्छी वाणी का भी प्रभु की देन होती है. एंड आंटी, आपने उस प्रभु की देन को पूरी जस्टिस की, बहुत अच्छे से इस्तेमाल किया, क्योंकि जब रीड करने वाला एक अच्छे भाव से और एक अच्छी आर्टिकुलेशन ऑफ मॉड्यूलेशन से सबसे पहले बोलता है, तो आंटी जो लिसनर है उसको मैसेज बहुत कैजुअल में भी बहुत क्लियरली मिल जाता है. बिकॉज सुनने वाले हर तरह के होते हैं. मैं अपनी पर्सनली बात करूं, मुझे कोई चीज पढ़ के जितनी समझ आती है, मुझे सुन के नहीं आती. लेकिन जैसे मैं आपका सुन रही थी, इट वाज इतना दिल तक पहुंचने के लिए कानों के थ्रू जाना जरूरी होता है, तो कानों में वो इतना क्लियरली मैसेज पहुंच रहा था कि वो दिल को जाके छू रहा था, और कोई कंफ्यूजन कहीं पे ये नहीं था कि ये पॉइंट समझ नहीं आया. सेकेंड डे आंटी, उसको आपने जैसे एक्सप्लेन किया, इट वाज सो ब्यूटिफुल. आपने अपनी जो इनपुट्स दी, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं. हम कई बार लैग कर जाते हैं, मैं पर्सनली अपनी रीडिंग में कई बार लैग कर जाती हूँ. एंड मैंने पर्सनली आपकी रीडिंग से आज बहुत सीखा है. इतना इम्पैकेबल, इतना आइडियल वे ऑफ रीडिंग एंड पुटिंग अक्रॉस अ मास्टरपीस. यहाँ पे मैं हाथ जोड़ के वेलकम करना चाहूंगी कमलेश मेहता आंटी का, और आंटी को बहुत शत शत प्रणाम के साथ उनको तहे दिल से बहुत ज्यादा शुक्राना करना चाहूंगी सब संगत की तरफ से. इस प्लेटफॉर्म शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का मल्टीलिंगुअल की तरफ से, आंटी आपने इतनी प्यारी किताब जिसमें आपने मोती पिरो दिए, सत्संग के साथ साथ कितना मैसेज है, कितनी एनलाइटनमेंट है. हम जैसों के लिए तो ये ऐसा ग्रंथ है जिससे हम अपने महाराज का पार तो नहीं मैं कह सकती, लेकिन उनकी हर हमारी जिंदगी में, मनुष्य जीवन में जो वो करते हैं उसको समझने का आपने बहुत अच्छी आंटी लाइट डाली है. जैसे आज का ही ये सत्संग था, सो क्लियरली, हमें तो पता ही नहीं होता, हम तो कृप कर जाते हैं. जैसे आपने उन आंटी का बताया कि वो तो बिल्कुल रोने जैसी होगी महाराज के पास में. सीरियसली आंटी, हम जैसे कुछ, मैं अपने जैसा कुछ प्राणी कहूँ तो शायद इतना ओबीडियंट ही ना होता, शायद बीच में ही छोड़ देता उस चीज को. सो हमें भी ऐसे लाइफ की परीक्षाएं अब आ रही हैं, आएंगी, और इस चैप्टर के थ्रू बहुत समझ आया कैसे हमें वो परीक्षा को गले लगाना है, और उसमें भी हमारा अपना ही स्वार्थ है, पता नहीं कौन से जन्म का भला है हमारा. सो कमलेश आंटी, थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच. सुरेश अंकल, मैं क्या कहूँ आपके लिए, थैंक यू कि कितने शब्द कहूँ. आपने पहले तो आज का पूरा दिन इतना भावभीनी रहा, पूरा दिन हम मल्टीलिंगुअल प्लेटफॉर्म पर रहे, उसके बाद कंसिस्टेंट इतने लेवल्स पे इतनी सेवा चल रही है इस प्लेटफॉर्म के द्वारा अंकल. और हम जैसों को जो बहुत आलसी हैं, जो बहुत इतने अच्छे बच्चे नहीं हैं गुरुजी के जैसे आप हैं, हमसे भी सेवा करा लेते हो. सो सुरेश अंकल, थैंक यू वेरी मच. नीलिमा आंटी, आंटी थैंक यू वेरी मच. आपने मुझे मौका दिया, मुझे चुना आज की को होस्टिंग एंड कोऑर्डिनेशन के लिए. कमलेश मेहता आंटी जैसे संगत के रूबरू होना अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है, और मैं बहुत ज्यादा थैंकफुल हूँ आप सबके. एंड वंस अगेन प्रेरणा आंटी, hats off to you. Beautiful aunty, beautiful. Thank you very much. And please keep coming again. आपको महाराज ये मौका देते रहे, और सुरेश अंकल आपको बार बार इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाते रहे. थैंक यू वेरी मच. कमलेश आंटी, अब आपके मधुर वाणी में आपसे हम सुनना चाहेंगे इस चैप्टर के बारे में. इस पे आपकी नजर से, आपके एक्सपीरियंस के द्वारा थोड़ी और आप हमें इस पे लाइट डालिए आंटी. It will be a blessing for us. Over to you, Kamish Maharaj.
जय गुरु जी. कार्मिक retribution. What we think today, or we say today, it becomes karma of yesterday. So we should think before we speak. We should not hurt anybody, because that will become my karma of tomorrow, means yesterday. Karmas, yes, follow you from births to births and births to births and births to births. It is a good karmas today, what we are reaping with the multilingual, and Suresh uncle has given us this opportunity to reap what we had done good in our past. गुरु की गाथा गाना, गुरु का सत्संग करना एक बहुत बड़ा कर्म है. बिना कर्मा ये चीज नहीं मिल सकती हम लोगों को. We cannot get it. This is only a past karmas which is reflecting on our life. And we are here today with everyone, the whole Sangat of this universe, of this world. Jahan jahan Guru Ji ki Sangat hai. These are the past benefits and fruits which we are enjoying. And because of these karmas, because of anything we cannot enjoy, that is there. कहते थे कि ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ गोपियां बनिया सन कृष्ण भगवान दिया, वो पिछले जन्म में संत महात्मा थे और उनको उनका प्यार नहीं मिला कृष्ण भगवान का. इसलिए वो नेक्स्ट जन्म में जितने भी साधु संत थे जिन्होंने कृष्ण भगवान की आराधना की थी, वो उस नेक्स्ट बर्थ में गुरु गोपियां बनी. And they were very close to each other, close to Guruji, close to Krishna Bhagwan, because that was their karmic retribution. Bansi, see the bamboos. There are so many kind of bamboos are there. पर कृष्ण भगवान एक बैम्बू को गए, उनके अंदर में तू अपनी जिंदगी दे दे. और बड़ा कीता. फिर इसे कृष्ण मेरे से अपनी मेरी जिंदगी मांग रहा है, and I'll give it to him. और उन्होंने अपनी वो बैम्बू को अपनी जिंदगी दे दी. कृष्ण भगवान ने वो बैम्बू काटा. जब वो काटा, अपनी जड़ से अलग हुआ, कितना दुख पहुंचा होगा उस काटने में, छुरी चलने में. उसके बाद भगवान उसको ले गए, काटा, पीटा, छेद बनाए, बंसुरी बनी. और उस किस्मत बैम्बू की, उस पर्टिकुलर बैम्बू की किस्मत जो कान्हा के होठों के साथ जाके रखी. जो कान्हा के साथ रही, जो कान्हा के साथ हमेशा रहती, जब वो सोते बगल में रखते। सो कि उस बैम्बू ने जन्मों जन्म में कितना किया होगा ताकि वो बैम्बू पैदा हुआ और वो कृष्ण भगवान की बंसरी है। The 7 holes is representing the 7 आग। गुरु जब एक बचता है, उंगली हटती है, तो उसमें हमारी ईगो जाती है। दूसरे होल में से हमारे थॉट्स जाते, हमारे कर्मस निकल जाते, हम जो सोचते हैं वो निकल जाता। जो हमारे अंदर 5-6 बुराइयां हैं, 7 बुराइयां हैं, वो एक एक होल से निकल जाती है। That's why there are 7 holes in the bunch. कृष्ण भगवान सीता उठा के ले गई उनको, कंस उनको अपना क्या नाम है, सीता जी रावण उठा के ले गया। तो एक मोर था, वो गुरु राम को कहता है आओ मैं तुमको ले जाता हूँ जब तक वो ले जाते। मेरी जो गति स्पीड है इज मोर देन योर्स, तो मैं अपना एक एक पंख तोड़ तोड़ के फेंकता जाऊंगा ताकि आप उसको फॉलो करते करते आए। एंड इन द एंड जब मोर अपने पंख अपने आप वो गिरते हैं, कुछ नहीं होता, और जब वो नोच नोच के उसने पंख, वो इन द एंड ही बिकेम मरने वाला हो गया। जब तक कृष्ण भगवान रामचंद्र उसके तक पहुंचे और उनको कहा यहाँ से ऐसे ऐसे पूरी कथा सुनाई उनको। He was dying और रामचंद्र जी ने उसको पैट किया, कहते तेरी ये बिल्कुल सेवा जो है व्यर्थ नहीं जाएगी। I will be born again in the form of Krishna और तू सबसे सुंदर पंछी बनेगा। और ऐसे ही हुआ, राम जी ने फिर अवतार लिया, कृष्ण बने और वो मोर पंख उनके सिर की शोभा बन गई। सो कोई भी सेवा, कोई भी कर्म फालतू नहीं जाता, and you're always repaid, whether it is a bad or a good karma, you have to pay it. Be the master of karma. Don't allow yourself to think you are forever bound by karma. Deny it, whether your karma is good or bad. Don't accept any karma limitation. You have to have karma to destroy, good karma to destroy the bad karma. Then rise above them both. Whenever you see you are not able to control your pain, troubles, keep trying. Never yield to pain and trouble. Every time something gets you down, get up and say, I am all right now. The minute you admit you can't do it, it is over. You have given the verdict that you are bound by karma. You are the judge. It doesn't matter what your troubles are. If I am all right, you can overcome. But if you say, I can't do it, you are jailed behind the prison bars of your karma. If you recognize a mistake and resolutely determine not to make it again, and even if you fall, that fall will be much less than you have ever tried. You will see in the time that you are the master of yourself and free from the karma, even as God is. Guruji here says and reminds us, I am wind that rustled your hair. I am the sun which warms your body. I am the rain which dances on your body. I am the smell of flowers in the air. I am the flowers which send their fragrance. I am the air which carries fragrance upwards. I am the beginning of the first thought and the end of the last thought. I am the idea that sparked your most brilliant mind. I am the glory of the fulfillment. I am the feeling which fueled the most loving thing you ever had. I am the part of you that yearns for the feelings again and again. Meditate upon the above. Reconnect with me every day of every moment of your day. Do this in my remembrance. Feel my presence within you. He says, the benefit of looking into the eyes of your Guru, the benefit of looking into the eyes, his eyes are pouring love, light and life into us. The true devotee said, never chooses, he always wins, because his faith in the Guru makes him realize that nothing bad can happen. Everything that happens is either the result of the past karma, or so we should be glad to be praying it off and be done with it, or it comes from the above as we can have something higher. The Sevak looks into the eyes, into the Gurus, and then goes within to look into the eyes of the radiant form of the Guru. He is a Janun, full of gratitude for everything. His faith is unshakable. He is penetratingly looks into the beloved's eyes, receiving with so much gratitude and light, emitting with the Guru. Nature is very strict. Money lender can never escape from the payment of the debts of the karmas. We have taken from him. We are going through the karma continuously, and in this way, we are increasing a burden by taking the new debt of karma every time. There is no way to avoid this. In one birth, we accumulate so much debt of karma which is impossible to repay in the same birth or only in one birth. Only by changing the body, the water does not get forgiveness. The akara the entire account of our deeds is our concern. Everything written literally on the inner being. This account of karma can neither be proved false, or it can be changed or destroyed. We will have to pay. Every good deed will have to bear the reward of and the punishment of the bad deed. So karmas, thank Guruji for being with him and blessing us and watching out our past karmas and making us a better human being. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Uncle.
Jai Guruji. Jai Guruji, Kamlesh Mehta Aunty. We are fortunate today to have you in this session. I'm requesting you, please guide us, motivate us in future too. Thank you very much once again. Thanks a lot, Prerna Mahajan Aunty, for your blissful divine narration of the assigned pages of this divine book. And thanks a lot, Aunty Cycle Aunty, for effectively managing the session. Over to you, Aunty Aunty. Jai Guruji.
Thank you, Kamlesh Mehta Aunty. It was icing on the cake and cherry on the icing to listen to you and get deeper insight. Thank you very much, Aunty. इसी तरह से please आप आते रहिए, हमें guide करते रहिए, हमें enlighten करते रहिए. May Guruji Maharaj always bless you with healthy, long, blissful life. Thank you, Aunty. Thank you very much. Thank you, Suresh Uncle, and the platform. Thank you. Thank you to the reader, Prerna Aunty, and everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining in and making this platform very effective and very interesting. बेअंत शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज, आपके चरणों में कोटि कोटि प्रणाम मेरे मालिक. जय